online aggregator of healthcare services. The easiest way I sort of give an example of Medibuddy is everyone knows about Amazon or Flipkart. They are in the general merchandise and they do e-commerce in everything. We are focused on delivering only healthcare services in an online first environment. Of course, we started very small 10 years back and then over the scale of last 10 years, starting from doctor consultation to medicine delivery to diagnostics to end-to-end hospitalization, surgery care, we do everything possible. As an aggregator, we manage both the demand and the supply to ensure high-quality healthcare becomes accessible to 1 billion Indians. That's our vision and mission. I have been heading demand generation and marketing in Medibuddy for close to 2 years now, work closely with the board as well as the founder, CEO. So happy to give you a glimpse of how you should think about building effective marketing for your own brands in a space where everything, as one of the sirs who was speaking before me rightly said, it starts with identifying the need gap. Fortunately for us, this is a category where we don't need to create demand. We should not be creating demand because you need healthcare when you are not well. Ideally, I should not be doing anything which creates demand. So we don't create demand from healthcare. There is actually a huge amount of demand which is there in India, which is today not fulfilled in a right manner, or there is a lot of people who even don't have access to basic consultation. I will start my presentation by just showing a brief overview of the landscape. I think it's an interesting quote. In most cases, and it's very true for healthcare, but in most of the scenarios, it's about a correct diagnosis, which is 3/4 the remedy. Now, this is the kind of problem which we have in healthcare in India. There are not enough doctors. And doctor is something which I will also show you is, and even if you can visualize for yourselves, is the fundamental core of healthcare. Today, if I am not well, I will not go and directly do a diagnostic of why I am not well by going to a diagnostic center, or I will not start randomly popping up medicines. I have a pain in my stomach, I will probably go to a doctor. But look at the situation of doctor which we have in India. And it's a finite supply, like people need to study for 4 years, plus they need to do MD, plus God knows what, before they become a specialized doctor. And what happens today, unfortunately, but it is true, most of the top doctors don't even stay in India. They go abroad. Then there is a second layer of doctors who are good, but they prefer staying in the top 15 cities maybe. So there is an inherent problem. The doctors are not enough. This is a very finite demand, finite supply which we have. And most of the doctors prefer to stay in urban areas. So, coming back to what is the problem statement which we are trying to solve, if we have to solve healthcare through technology in a better way, we have to solve the problem of availability or access to a doctor, which is the primary problem for for India. Then, of course, if you stay in a city like Bangalore, where traveling from point A to point B, we don't give our distances in kilometer. Normally, if someone tells me that, okay, how far from office you stay, I would say that I stay with, like in the morning, it takes 1.5 hours for me to reach office. In the evening, depending on the time I start, it may take 2 hours to reach back. So sometimes we even give our distance in time. So in urban India, the problem is that of convenience. So either you don't have access to a doctor because you are living in some rural part or some remote part of India, or you are staying in a city where still you will have problem, like if your daughter today is not well, after this event you will probably go, you will again have to take your car or vehicle out and then travel 1 kilometer to the doctor. So this is a real problem, and this solution to provide effective healthcare all starts with understanding this problem. Okay. I hope it plays. So this is what I was saying. Doctor is at the, okay, the video didn't play. Shall we try again? Okay, so basically what it said was that doctor is at the center of a healthcare ecosystem. All healthcare journey starts with the, either with a doctor or eventually in some form converges with the doctor. So even if you have taken one doctor diagnosis and you have taken a medicine, if you didn't get well, you will again have to go and revisit him. Maybe at the second level, he will do one more diagnosis where he will ask you to do some health check. So everything converges or comes into a doctor. To solve the problem of doctor, first we have to ensure that where at any part of India you are, you can avail a specialist doctor within 10 minutes, and that's the promise. How do you do it? We do it through technology, where we connect you with a specialist doctor and enable a video consultation with a specialist doctor within 10 minutes. And we ensure that it is possible anytime, anywhere, 24/7, 365 days a year. So I think from the problem identification to the solution, of course, in trying to do so, there is a lot of work which goes into creating a lot of processes, a lot of technology stack to ensure that the right matching, right availability of doctor, everything we are able to deliver. Also, healthcare is critical. You cannot have a situation where there is a wrong diagnosis, which means there has to be a monitoring mechanism, there has to be a proper feedback loop, and all the related complexities. We heard a discussion of the fintech sector. I think there is also additional technology problem which we have to take care of, which is like data security, privacy, patient privacy. All this still has to be done with zero failure, because in healthcare you cannot get it wrong, because it's someone's life on the table. So from a very business perspective, because we are also a startup who is trying to grow, having a solution to a problem is not enough. I think most of you would also relate. Just having a solution, having a brilliant solution or a product offering is not enough. What is important is your relevant audience is able to know you about your offering, able to hear about you, and then sort of try you at the right time. And in doing so, you have to do it in the most efficient manner possible. Otherwise, your marketing burn would be so much that by the time you reach enough threshold, you would be out of your funding and you would be struggling to sort of grow. I think that's where it is very important, where I will sort of wear my marketing hat and talk about a bit of some interesting things which we did. Of course, I can't disclose the actual numbers, but given some of the marketing budgets which I have handled, this was really, really frugal. And we went first principle basis in creating a series of digital first campaigns. This is something where you create a series of digital first campaigns which talks to your relevant TG. Now, we heard there is so much resistance in even adopting a financial solution today. Now, imagine the resistance where you are not well and you will still want to talk to a video doctor in a video consultation mode where you have not done before. So clearly not everyone will be my initial TG. So I have to really filter out the people who would initially come and still be conversant of doing an online video consultation. So that's why we segmented the TG very sharply. We identified people based on their behavior on the digital medium. Are they conversant to doing e-commerce transactions? Do they do regular e-commerce transactions? And then, rather than targeting the ads to everyone, we sort of focused on them initially to gain traction. And of course, the other thing which is very important in this category is this is a very low frequency activity. Normally, you may need to talk to a doctor, even if you have kids, maybe once a quarter. So there are probably 4 interactions in a year. So what's important is I create enough situations where you are likely to be in that situation sometime in the next 1 year, so that you remember that this is also an offering or a possibility which we have. Now, this is the reason we created a series of video ads where we talked about each of these healthcare situations, talk to a TG who was already well conversant with taking solutions in a online first e-commerce mode, and then deployed this campaign purely in a digital mode. There was nothing else, no TV, no print, nothing, only digital with very sharp targeting, with very sharp segmentation. I think this is something which I would like to leave with the audience, that it is still possible in India to build a category in healthcare, in digital, with very, very frugal spends. If you have your consumer insight correct, if you are able to segment the DG correct, and then we put that campaign in a always on mode, because you seeing today doesn't mean you will have the need for a doctor. And then this is some of the benefits which we offered, which we thought resonated well with the TG. I think that is also something which is very important for everyone to sort of keep in mind. When someone is trying to create a new category, I think it is very important to identify the primary drivers of the category and build a communication so that the benefits which you are offering are clearly in very simple, quantifiable terms understood by your TG. To strengthen this message, I will probably just show, and we had a series of videos, as I said. We will just show one of the videos for you to sort of bring all these theoretical things which I am talking about in one probably 30-second kind of a video. It comes next. I think in terms of the impact, again, I cannot share the numbers, but if I take the basic metrics, like let's not talk about anything about the brand, let's talk about pure business. I think we have been running this campaign for 9 months now. We have actually doubled the average daily online consultations which we do, online video consultations. I think by any stretch of imagination, that is something which I have not seen in any category. And I have myself launched few big online categories in India. And so far, I think till date, we have impacted positively 6.5 million Indians. I hope this plays, because this
भी हेल्थ केयर इशू के लिए स्पेशलिस्ट डॉक्टर की वीडियो होम डिलीवरी।
अब डॉक्टर घर पे बस 10 मिनट। Only on Medibuddy. Download now.
सर एक सेल्फी।
मुझे भी।
Okay. So I think all that what you have in mind in terms of the business, in terms of the proposition, if you can condense it to a message which is simple, which is unexpected, which is concrete, which is credible, and which connects to one emotional story, which provides the right solution to a consumer, is the kind of template which probably we have represented here. So I think doctor and having a consumer have access to a doctor in online anytime, anywhere, while the healthcare journey is this, but we also are trying to ensure that your journey is completed end to end. That's why we also provide, and we are building a support network in our platform where we have access to all the possible ways in which our medicine can be delivered to your home as quickly as possible. You can seamlessly do a diagnostic post consultation with a doctor, or you can get whatever support required for our end-to-end hospitalization should there be a requirement, and all at the click of a button. I think, but the most important thing, and this is where I went back, like in healthcare, whether you are the founder or the marketer who is driving it, you should never try to create demand, because that's bad for society. So one of the things which we eventually believe, that while doctor will be an omni-channel solution, there would be a lot of personalization, lot of data cards which is possible. What it is important in healthcare is when all these data are suitably used, analyzed to build a profile of a consumer, what you can actually do is, I can predict that you are likely to fall sick if you continue doing this, or if you are probably already wearing some kind of a fitness device from which also I get information, and based on your profile, I can today reach out to you and also prevent you from falling sick. I think that's the power, that's the vision, and that is what sort of still keeps all of us going. It's a long way to go, but I think in next 5 to 10 years, if I were to make that prediction, we would probably be moving from someone who provides a solution when you are not well to someone who can actually prevent you from falling sick. Thank you.